kill shit. 6 feet.
6 feet going deep. It's Torius with.
Bhramabull.
All right, Bhramabull. Why don't you tell us about what you do?
I'm a producer, computer emoji, plug emoji type, person, and I love music and records and sound.
Can you elaborate on music emoji? Plug. What do you mean by that?
Like, started off in the mixtape game. Um, Went to school for some sound engineering. You see the camera in the background. It led into some camera work. All while producing. So, it's all built off the computer. Like, I've been making beats for 10 years, but then it led into some button pressing with, I've done some music videos and stuff like that. But it's all off the computer. The computer is my tool, how I make my money and, how I make the beats that are on the internet and all that.
Do you make all your own beats?
Yeah. I tried to collab a couple times. Then I didn't get proper credit on a couple beats. Beats got stole. There's some people that I would love to collab with. Um, I just don't collab. I don't, my mentors don't collab. Like Havok, I think Havok collabs, Knife Wonder collabs. I just haven't got to the with another producer that I would want to collab with, but I make all my beats. I play the keyboards. I use the machine, use the plugins in the computer. So yeah, I make all my beats dolo.
So you would rather collab with artists than producers?
Yes. Yeah.
What is
Some
the
people
difference?
will be like, yeah, like go send me a sample and be like, yo, what can you do with this? I like that. I don't really make beats on the fly. I don't bring my beat machine into the studio that much. I usually have like beats already done. But sometimes they'll tell me just take the drums off the beat. So I gotta keep the beats like tracked out, like with all the sounds on each different track. And I'll give them an option, like Bub Styles. We was in the studio. He was like, just take the drums out. And I was like, okay, bet. Like there's a new wave of like sample beats and underground hip hop right now that doesn't use a lot of drums. So sometimes I just take my drums out. That's the most I'll do, or put little drops in there. You know,
I have a couple questions about that, but I wanted to know what got you into producing, like what drew you to producing?
it was young, old music. I was an engineer first. Like I was an audio engineer. I went to school for that. Like, pressing, mixing. That shit was degrading as fuck. But it helped me learn sound, spacing. Um, and it helped me learn the plugins. The plugins can kind of really change up the way the sounds, are in the beat and the way you can manipulate sounds. It's almost like, just altering the sound in a different way, but you got more tools. It's like more tools. Um, but the engineering really got me into it. The sound, I'm from Philadelphia, so the sound of the city and the hits and vinyl, being liking vinyl a lot really helped, and the mentors. So that's basically that's basically it. I just kept going. I just liked music more than anything else. Basketball, partying, bitches, everything. I just liked it more than everything.
So when you said that it was degrading to be an engineer, like was it the learning part that was degrading, or was it actually
Yeah.
working with artists that was degrading?
No, it was coming up, trying to get a seat. Um, I wouldn't trade nothing because it made me better as like a person, and as a producer. And I still know a lot of people in the industry that that I worked for before I started out in LA right here, running around, being an intern, cleaning bathrooms, sweeping floors. To get in the rooms, I worked at Larrabee West, Larrabee East, being a runner. I went to New York back to, my family lives in Philly, but I commuted to New York. I tried to get into a Philly Sigma sound, but that was going down. That's where all like the Sound of Philadelphia was made. All that Gamble and Huff. Tried to get in there, that I couldn't get in there. So I went to 30th Street, New York, Manhattan, and went to Dan the Man's. Now that's Sean Price, Rusted Jukes, Ninth Wonder, Buckshot, Uncle Murder. That was fun. That was fun. Big shout to Dan the Man, Fred Bear, Giambi. That was fun. I was learning, My first internship was following people on MySpace with a MySpace bot. Handle that, clean the rooms. Then I went to Premiere Studios. The love was there. Premiere Studios, J. Cole, Pete, Justin Bieber. I worked a lot with Pat Viala, great engineer. A lot of great engineers. I did a couple sessions. I just didn't get the wave yet. I had no clients, so it was just like I was interning, helping the other engineers, and I finally like figured it out after I left, you know, to bring people through the studio, use it as a resource, get these sessions done. It was tough coming up. I mean, the degrading part was expected as being an intern. And I see a lot of the work that goes on in bigger studios now, the way they treat the engineers sometimes, like, I'm like, fuck you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't deal with it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Like, when I'm recording people, sometimes I'll bring in my boy Prosper, another engineer, so I can just be the producer, or sometimes I'll record it myself. But they my homies, like, that's fine. But doing other sessions, I was just like, just to call in the engineer, I don't know. I didn't like it. I'd rather be the producer, because the producer is kind of like tells the engineer what to do. So in the hierarchy of the studio, so I just learned how to maneuver the sound into like the beat making process. It's a lot of fun. So I
So
wouldn't say degrading. I would say my come up was degrading, like you said.
yeah.
I knew what I was in store for.
So would you? There's always this debate about being a beat maker and a producer, right? How do you feel?
Hmm.
Like, what side are you on with that? Like, do you feel like it's like the same thing, or do you feel like there's a difference between the two?
I think it's a difference for the two, because
And also,
I
what is
can
the
have.
difference?
What is the difference? I think a beat maker, you send the beat in, you're not telling them, yo, move this here, I want you to say this, you send the beat in and let the artist do everything, and you're not present in the studio, or you ain't give them a blueprint of what it is. Like, okay, you buy a beat off of BeatStars or you download it off YouTube, you're not in the creative process of it. I don't sell my beats on BeatStars or YouTube. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I did use SoundCloud, SoundClick for a second. That was the dumbest shit ever. I don't know why I ever fucking did that,
What? Why
but I
was it
had to
dumb?
figure it out,
Why didn't you like?
because I feel like I wanted to make money off of. Money was my goal before. I was struggling. I had no fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Making beats, a gang of beats, and getting money off them was my goal before. But now that ain't my goal. I'm trying to make records and work with certain people that I know fit the sound. Now, I could sell the same beat 70 times, $50, and do the math on that. But now it's like I just got so much pride in everything that I did. and working with these artists is like special to me. You know, I'm not saying that I'm any different than a beat maker from there because they just have a different thing. It's almost like sending your beats to the TV to try to get a TV placement. I'm not doing that. You know, it's just a different sector and I get it. But I'm trying to work directly with the artist. So I would say I'm a producer. Now, I don't tell artists what to say on the beats. That's one thing I do not do. You know, I'll name the beat something that makes them think about what to say, like Guillotine, Mystic, you know, River Run. Those are just some things like I'll give them clues on that, but I will never tell the artist, like, I'll tell them where I'm coming from, but I won't tell you what to say.
Yeah.
Because you the poet, you know what I'm saying? You putting your feelings on the beat. And we working together for your portion. You know what I'm saying? And I got mine right there. You know, if it's little edits later, then that's cool. You know, like, oh, drop it there, drop it there. I might say like, yo, your tone on it is this or that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a marriage there that you just gotta let it just be. And with selling beats online and, you know, getting your beats out there like that, you can't really do that unless you contact them. You know.
So since you're more focused on the artist, what is the upside of working with the artist rather than having your goal be money? Because I have heard that like a lot of times having placements isn't the best thing for a producer because that doesn't guarantee like songs take a long time to clear. You have to the samples have to clear and sometimes the songs don't even get released. So is there really an upside focusing on just getting placements with artists versus just making money off the beat?
I think it's wherever you choose to focus. You know, when Conway was asking for beats, mad people was tagging me with that. One of my, if not one of my favorite artists to work with. I feel like we would work perfect together on, you know, symmetry, beat, and rhymes. I send it in, but then it's like when I send in 10 beats, those beats are dead. The beats are dead.
What do you mean by that?
You know, like I can't use them. I can't. If Conway gets on it and I'm already working with somebody else on the beat, I gotta swipe that from whoever it is because I want Conway on it. Now, there's a good risk and reward on that because he could fuck with me and I could get with Conway and that would make my celebrity go up. I would, you know, that's what I want. A dope rapper on it. There's a give and take there. You know, but I'm on some shit right now where I want to control what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So with no money attached. Like I'll help you. I'll be like, yo, you need help with the studio? $50 here. I'll help you with the studio and get a bottle while you record. Cause you're sending the beat back to me, right? Or I'll throw you a beat for you to put on whatever you want to do with it, and I keep one because I keep the masters and I split everything 50-50 with the rapper. And that's not a lot of money. I'm not getting any money. I'm losing money because I got to promote it, you know? I think there's give and takes on each side. Right now, I like the way I'm working personally with certain artists and people are picking up on it. I think that's worth money. But if I was on the other side just sending packs out, the risk and reward is still good on both sides. I just chose to do it this way. You know what I'm saying? And I know I can control the promotion of it and they with all the types of promotion that I can do. You know, it's almost like shooting to try to get Kobe's signature, and instead of trying to get the whole team over here, the come up squad over there. You know, it's just a different way of doing it. I don't hate on no other way. I try to use every single beat I got to the max. Like when you record over my shit, I'm getting it mixed, I'm getting it mastered. We setting up a promo. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to waste nothing that I have. Or I'll move the vocals to another beat, or I'll make a piece of your vocals a hook. And that's out of the experience. So I think it's balanced anyway. You could just choose any way you want to go,
So,
you know.
what was the most unexpected thing that happened to you in the industry? Like the unexpected surprise.
Hmm. Um, Most unexpected thing. Just getting bootlegged. Like I did some mixtapes like back in the day when it was no Spotify, there was takedowns everywhere. And I was doing mixtapes and putting like Drake on there. Like I had an R&B mixtape. I was putting all like my favorite songs on there. And I just started to get bootlegged to now. I just released like a couple months ago, I released a mixtape. My shit was getting bootlegged. Like it was almost like I didn't know, I couldn't gauge what I was doing. I was just running and doing it, out of the love and the passion. And then I'm looking up things and I was getting bootlegged. And that's the best thing in the mixtape world is getting bootlegged. Like people selling your stuff on the street and it's filtering around the internet and in little forums. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, and I just talked to DJ Amadeus, infamous Amadeus, and he was saying, I heard you drop before. And he's a DJ, been in the game. Did you produce this record? I'm like, nah, I have instrumental tapes flying around. And these DJs are telling me that what I was doing back in the day was pretty cool. And I never even knew. I just thought I was releasing shit on blind ears. But now DJs are telling me that they got some of my old tracks. And that was surprising because I didn't know my mixtapes were doing that well on the underground, like SoundCloud days.
That sounds like when people make fake Instagram pages of like celebrities and stuff. Like that helps you get verified and that helps you like, spread your name.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just feel like at that time, I'm 40 years old now. I've done mixtapes, podcasts, all that stuff. That you're gonna find a way out of the love of what you do to try to make an impact in your industry.
Mhm.
Like you got the interviews, you move around, so you over here, you over there, but you doing what you feel like you got to do to make an impact and make your name, 6 foot go crazy. And that's just out of the love. So every era is going to find a way to grind. You know what I'm saying? The Tumblr days, I was putting my pictures up there trying to get hearts and stuff. It's just fun. It's better than not doing shit.
Yeah, no, definitely. What do you think, in your opinion, professionally, is the best release schedule for beats as a producer, and then as an artist releasing songs like actual records and music? So like
Um,
both, so
well,
both.
I do some marketing, and I think it's different for each genre.
Mhm.
I've interviewed DJ Fat. I know him as far as his genres. South Florida type sound, R&B. It's all kind of different, but I think the most fire way to promote beats is like try to put some kind of like a lot of visuals together, you know, um, and try to put a lot of visuals that match the sound, even if you're the type that presses the button and live, like, whatever you could do, you just gotta make a lot of visuals. And you gotta get like some cosigns from some kind of source. I feel like showing your process a little bit, maybe teasing that, but cosigns and some celebrity press really helps. Um, but as far as like a song and beats kind of go together, I think if you on like 100 little pages on Instagram and you making content for TikTok and you're advertising and you're on blogs, like how can you lose? You know, if you're trying to be in as much as you can afford, you gotta have money. You just gotta have money. I just feel like with $200-300, you could kind of make that shake Um, I think the celebrity makes people jump on, like to make them feel like they missed something, and asking for favors. As far as DJs, just sharing. It gets annoying. I know, like everyone's trying to do that in different, but you got to ask the right people for the favors. I'm targeting DJs. I think DJs are the backbone of what makes everything start. Because before I release anything like balcony status, I was hitting up every DJ in my genre. DJ Eclipse, Tone Spliff, Nas Williams, anyone that could help me. And maybe it's like I gotta give them $20. Maybe it's like, oh, this shit is so fire. But I did 2 weeks of sending out a DJ pack, like a clean, a dirty, an instrumental, and I got the cartoons, like the anime wave. I really like that over my beats. Sent them everything. 2 weeks, 2 weeks. We going on this day. And I ended up getting on Sirius a few times. Now I'm in the realm of my sound that whenever I drop, they gonna look out automatically. You just gotta show you're about it because they get so many like, I'm done, oh, here's a single, and 5 weeks later, something else. And you really gotta show love to their page. Like I put fire emojis on everything. Happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really out here. And then when they got a little event, you show love, you buy a shirt and all that. Like it's gotta be true, genuine, like linking these contacts together. And every release you get like 3 or 4 more. And they look out. It can't be
That's
fake love.
that's good advice. I'm gonna think about that.
Yeah, like I really like I do social media a little bit too. So I'm on the internet for like 13 hours a day. So anybody I know, fire emoji, ask a question, say something's hot, like keep up with the people. It's not like returning a favor, but like if I ask you to do me a favor out of the blue and I don't put no fire emojis, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
why would he do anything? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's just got to be real from the heart and really show love. And even if you get a couple connects every time, you know, and there's automation that'll do that shit for you. Like you set up the AI, but AKA automation. You set up like how many followers you want in this genre and what comment you want to put under like 100 pages a day. So
Yeah.
maybe it'll do some work for you, but nothing beats really looking out for people that fuck with you and keeping your circle.
So, have you ever fallen out of love with making music? And if you did, how did you come back to finding that love for like making beats and engineering and maybe even rap?
Um, Sometimes I get discouraged. I got discouraged a few times when like I would put everything into like working with one artist because that's my wave, you know, like trying to find a talent and like working with them. And then they quit. Or it's like we didn't really sync up. I wouldn't say they quit, but we didn't sync up the way I wished. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't live in a big city for a long time and there wasn't a lot of events, you know. It was almost like how a lot of people start out, they homie rapped, you know, and you going in, it was like a trial period, but the same amount of longevity and passion isn't there like you want to be. Because I've been in this for a second, been broke, gone through certain things, came back, and it's back again, you know. Um, it's hard when people go through different things at different times, but you're supposed to like hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it frustrated me a little bit, but I just stayed there. And you know, when I go through like a little period where everybody goes into like a funk where you're like you're not making good beats. I think it happens like you hit a wall or like you're on it too much or you got to play some video games. So I went and tried to learn this camera You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever just make the same beat over and over and over again?
You know what? I have.
Yeah.
And that's when you need new sounds, or that's when you need some inspiration, or that. And I try to listen to different types of music, which bridge into different types. But now it's so hard to learn a method on your machine or whatever you use to get it to where you want. It's like once you get in that groove, you don't want to make nothing different. You may switch it up just a little bit, but I'm trying to make, like, when you hear my beat, you know it's me, like a Timberland type shit. So I just try to make what I think is hot, because if you're just if you're making the same beat, that means you in the groove and you locked in to your sound. Unless you're trying to make like Wheezy on the beat, you know what I'm saying? Or you're trying to fit in to something that it sounds exactly the same. You're supposed to take elements, almost like a painter, different elements to mold your shit. Because there's going to be one way that you always think is hot. There's going to be one sound that you always think is hot, you know? And I try not to be too influenced by too much other shit. I try to be influenced off records and not too much of mainstream or other producers. I dabble back when I want to study, like I'll pull up a Ninth Wonder, I'll pull up why
Who
Nas is hot and
who
be
are
like,
some of
yo, he
your
killed that. That's some primo shit.
who are some of your artists, like who are some of your favorite artists that you listen to?
Um,
Because I do see the Nas influence in you.
yeah, like I really like Hit Boy's production. I feel like it's a good bridge of, someone that can make super, super hits, but come down and meet in the middle with his sound. I like that. I listen to Hit Boy is really good. I like um I like Alchemist. He's been my favorite for a long time. Watching him evolve as a producer, he's really dope. I really like Ninth Wonder production because I like the element of rawness to it, but clean. And he uses the same thing I use. He was kind of the inspiration for me to get that. Havoc from Mob Deep, DJ Premier, you know, and I like a lot of current producers as well, like Wheezy out of here, and these guys, I'm watching how they come up. Nard and B, Nard and B, Nard and B. Mike and Keys. Like, I see some of them, like, they follow me for a day and then they unfollow me. You know what I'm saying? Or they're like a post and then they'll disappear. So those little things motivate me, and I'm trying to just mash everything like the Mad Lib, the J Dilla, the MF Doom into the way I would do it.
What do you think
That's it.
most producers are doing wrong?
I don't think there's anything wrong if you're trying to do something. I don't care if you're doing remixes, if you're pressing the button, finger drumming. I just feel like when you make a beat, that shit could be it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be It's a Hard Knock Life for us. And I feel like you picked the right artist because a beat ain't gonna go crazy by itself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if your goal is to be the best lo-fi producer and be on the little channel with the anime girl on it and just have beats and get into that mode, cool. You need a rapper. You need a rapper. You need a poet that matches that shit. You know? And I can understand you need your bread. I'm selling 5 beats a day off of BeatStars, but to make like a hit, it's gotta be some gelling there that could take your shit to the next level. And you need a poet. And when you making the beat, really think about who is perfect for this that I know he ain't gonna say it's whack. And he gonna have ideas on the next level for this. And even if, okay, it's a superstar artist, try to send it to them, but try to work with somebody that's coming up that works hard, that gets shows, that invests in themselves, that markets themselves, that's really trying. And don't waste your time on people that's just fucking around. And it might be the fuck around dude that don't even know that he's nice with it. But as a producer, you gotta have a rapper, and it's gotta be right. So, you know, you can make the beats all day. Instrumentals ain't charting on Billboard, bro. And instrumental DJs ain't looking out. I'm gonna play the instrumentals. They might, but the rapper is the key. You just accent what he's trying to say. And if it sounds right with it, sonically, you good, but the rapper is the key. Like, you know what I'm saying? Alchemist works with people, but it's the rapper until you come up and you are Alchemist or a Dr. Dre and your name is so heavy. But he had to work with so many people and do so many things to even get his name heavy on the track, you know. So
you
respect
recently
the rappers, the poets.
You recently dropped a new track, right?
Yeah, the balcony status with Monday Night.
How did that come about?
Shit, you know what? I got Spotify, and I'll be listening to like my radio, right? I don't know what the computers are doing, right? The shit is fire. I'm sorry. I'm with AI. I'm with computers coming in, taking over, taking jobs, whatever it is. I'm not hating on none of that shit. I'm a computer person. I love the computer. You know, so the radio on Spotify had this nigga Monday Night. Boom, boom, boom. Three-way slim. Big Kahuna OG. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I'm saying? Because I only listen to my radio. Because they kind of tell me they like my DJ, my personal DJ, of people I ain't never heard of, you know? That's the way I discover shit. So I hit them up. And I was like, yo, you killing it. You know, I think we could make some fire shit. I had to send this nigga like 5 beats. I don't really like usually do that. Usually people will be like, yo, I wish, you know, you got another one. This nigga said you got another one 5 times. Bet. That means he cares. He's trying to work with me and he's going to bless me with some bars. The 5th beat, the beat was somebody else's, real talk. He was playing around and holding it. Like we talked about before, I hate the holding and no update, right? I sent that one over to Monday Night. The fucking some record. I think it was like Japanese cartoon. I've been sampling those, so stupid. Like Big Shout Re-Up Records. Like he just got followed by Alchemist. I've been buying records off this nigga for like 2 years, right? I knew the little Japanese way. I just discovered the Japanese wave of fusion and all that. Send it over to him. He's like, this the one. He went crazy on it. It took him a week. And I like how he put his little crew sound effects in there. And it came out. I had it for like 3 or 4 months. And the dude is doing well. Like I had it for 3 months and he's starting to turn up. And that's exactly what I wanted him to just keep going with his shit. And I'll get everything ready for the drop, you know. And cool dude. He's on the way up. It's a DMV kind of movement. He's from Richmond. And I wanted to tap into his fan base to see what's going on over there. I might try to tap into a couple of his other crew members, like Fly Anakin. He put out, you know, he put out a great project, you know. So it's cool.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. What is some advice that you would give to some up and coming artists right now? I mean, producers that they don't know what to do next. Like, what would you tell them to do?
I mean, I just feel like I didn't know how nice I was The confidence, you got to keep that. However, you want to keep the confidence because you're dolo making beats. You know what I'm saying? So keep the confidence going. You got to keep your confidence up, I was saying, like, because this is some crazy shit to just keep like going and no, you can let people hear your beats and shit like that, but you're gonna get a hater. But you just gotta, your confidence has to be like max B level. You know what I'm saying? You gotta everybody else out, like learn, make your shit sound the way you want, and have some confidence, stick your chest out, even if it ain't as good as you want it, just keep fighting.
Yeah. Have you ever had to deal with haters?
Yeah, I mean, more so now because I'm starting to get a little recognition and DJs are looking out. A little hate. I like hate, and everybody knows it. Like, I like hate because it drives me. Because I try to use the Jordan effect. Like, the hate drives me more. Just a little bit. I used to do shows and events and stuff like that. And you start to get used to it. You start to turn it into fuel. And don't let all that one affect you. You just got to keep going.
So tell me about this album that you're working on, Evolution 4. How is it different from the last episode?
Well, this time I'm dropping singles before the album. My boy Tony Tuesday, he told me to do that, and I'm taking advice of like industry people and people that really are in it. Last time I didn't drop singles, I just dropped that shit. Like, I felt like it was way overdue, and I felt like there was more singles on there than I thought. I should have stretched it out a little more because I feel like every song there was a single. But right now, I'm dropping. I want to keep the wave going with single, and then drop the Evolution 4. A couple of those placements with like Rome Streets, Rick Hyde, Degree, Jay Hayes, they probably would have helped me individually a little more if they were single, and the artist, because we could spend 3 weeks running it up. You know what I'm saying? Making little TikToks, getting into these bloggers. I should have taken a little more care with that instead of just dropped an album. And that was just me, like, the celebrity I thought I had, I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? But right now, dropping each single, the Monday night, the Vic Spencer single, it really helped it to turn up, and now I can press for Evolution 4. And I got a lot of good features coming up. I got Shahef, I got Def Soldier, I got Pat Ron from Dallas, I got Rome Streets from New York, I got Danielson from Canada, I got Yara from LA, and I'm building this sound living in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm making Kodak Black sound and shit and I live in South Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just where I'm at in my life, and I feel like it's all working together. And shout to everybody on there. I'm gonna run this up. Cy Mosquiat from Philly. I got DJ Young Legend helping me. I'm just blessed to be doing this way because I feel like this is the year I could really try to get a lot of fans. I'm really like build up my presence with the DJs and show them through.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm here to help you out with whatever you need, man. Just use our platforms or whatever promotion you need.
Well, now, just like I talked about before, you in the loop now. Like I'm hitting you up every single. You in my press run now. You know what I'm saying? So we gang. So fuck it.
Nah, definitely. Who else we want to shout out? Anyone that's like helped you out along the way? Anyone that you want to work out with? Like, who do you want to shout out?
I just want to shout out like the people like that been rocking with me since I was like a struggle. You know, you got those years that you're a struggle, and they like, you know, they listen to your beats and they ain't all the way there, and they the homies. You know what I'm saying? And they see your progression. That stuck with me through all this. My family, you know what I'm saying? Even the labels that I work with, they've always been supporting me all the way through until like now that I'm really like, you know, really getting interviews and talking, and DJs are looking out for me. And the DJs, bro, like I really way heavy on the DJs that support me and look out for me, because that whole side of being pressed and being a DJ, I know you got some shit that you probably got bars, you know? They probably producers, and taking that time to look out for other people, even if it helps them, they don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them don't get paid enough and don't get enough exposure. It's a sacrifice. So I respect them for looking out. And just all the new people that have discovered me, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, facts. And where can they find you at? For anyone that doesn't know.
Well, my link tree is in my bio at Bhramabull, BHRAMA Bull. That's basically everywhere. I'm getting a website kind of built right now, but you know, my shit, search me on Google. Everything's right there. I got press and all that. You know, I'm on Twitter heavy. Just reach out. You know, I'm right there. 100. Just reach out. You know, I'm right there. 100.
So my last question is, it's a two-part. How did you get your name, Bhramabull? And what 3 songs should someone go check out right now to become a Bhramabull fan?
Good question. I had an MPC. I started on MPCs, and I'm really big into sports, like football, Philadelphia sports. I'm really big on like where you come from is your team, and that's your gang, and you stick with them wherever you go, where you were born at. You know? And there was an announcer named John Facenda, like NFL Films, and this was LimeWire kind of time. And I had got an NFL film. And I had a voice in there that said Bhramabull, and I used that, you know, every time. I just feel like your drop shouldn't be made. It should be from something that you sampled. That's just where I'm coming from. And I just kept hitting it. And the homie was like, yo, that's just hard. Run with it. On the MPC. And I just ran with it. Like, I put it on all the mixtapes. I had to brand myself through a name somehow. And nobody was saying it was whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, no one hated it. And then I kept getting drops, and I kind of made one from a drop. And I stuck with that. You know, and then everyone, Brahma, you know, people tell me the definition, it comes from Hindu cultures and different definitions, so I just stuck with it. There's no going back. You know, I did have a name called like Smoke or something, and I was going to use like the Mortal Kombat Smoke, you know. I never really did that. But, you know, Bhramabull is it till I'm out of here. 3 songs, I would have to say I would go back to like Brian Knockin. We've done like 7 albums, and he's really like a political leader, and he really speaks the truth of like the culture and what he feels inside. So the 1992 with Prophet, 1992 Dr. Dre, one of the best collabs I've had. So I would say go back to that. And I really like the Two World with Bub Styles and Vel the Wonder. Kind of really got a grimy kind of sound to it. Not mixed, it's a 2-track. It came straight out my machine, straight out of the MPC 4000. I didn't even make that on the machine. And then something a little more current, like this guy Hunter Graham Royce out of I think he lives in New Jersey, New York. It's called Rob Him Blind. I really like that track. He kind of goes through how he will rob you and kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the beat kind of sounds like it. I sampled it off some like Dirty Harry movie or something, but the way he describes that shit, it's like he knows or he's seen it or something. Rob Him Blind. Hunter Graham Royce off the Evolution 3. Really recommend that one.
Hey, you ready to hear? Go check out those 3 songs. With that being said, this has been 6 Feet with the one and only Bhramabull.
Thank you, man. Take care.